All eyes are on Doha ahead of tomorrow's scheduled summit aimed at reaching the elusive hostage for ceasefire agreement. But it remains unclear whether Hamas will show up at the talks and how much leeway Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will give Israeli negotiators in the mediated talks. More from ILTV's Steve Leibowitz.
The U.S. is doing all in its power to bring all of the parties to the table in what's being depicted as a last-chance effort to reach a mediated hostage for ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas.
We have been stressing to allies, partners, like-mindeds, just how important it is that the parties not take steps that are going to perpetuate this conflict, that are going to lead to further instability and insecurity. No one benefits from any kind of retaliation, and so we want to not see any escalation or any attack take place in the first place.
Earlier, Hamas announced that it does not intend to send representatives to the summit. Qatar has reportedly given assurances that Hamas will be represented at the talks.
So we've seen the reports of what they have said as it relates to their participation. Our partners in Qatar have assured us that they will work to have Hamas represented. As I just said to Sean, it is far time for Hamas to release the remaining hostages, including the American citizens. But broadly, we fully expect these talks to move forward as they should.
Israel plans to send a team led by Mossad chief David Barnea. The exact mandate for the negotiating team remains unclear. Earlier this month, negotiators warned Netanyahu that it won't be possible to reach a deal with the new demands that the prime minister issued in late July. Netanyahu insists that he has not added any new demands, rather offered clarifications that allow for the deal to be implemented.
The U.S. is pressuring Iran and Hezbollah to postpone or cancel their announced plans to attack Israel for the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran and Hezbollah commander Fouad Shukr in Beirut 2 weeks ago. Washington is using prospects of a Gaza ceasefire as leverage. ILTV's Steve Leibowitz reports.
The U.S. is leveraging prospects of a successful hostage for ceasefire talks to reduce regional tensions in the shadow of Iranian and Hezbollah threats of revenge on Israel. The U.S. believes that the threatened Iranian attack on Israel may not take place if Israel and Hamas manage to reach the elusive ceasefire agreement. This from the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations.
The United States' overall goal remains to turn the temperature down in the region, deter and defend against any future attacks, and avoid regional conflict. That starts with finalizing a deal for an immediate ceasefire with hostage release in Gaza. We need to get this over the finish line. Again, we urge every member of this council to say clearly and unequivocally that it is time to finalize and implement this agreement.
President Biden and U.S. Secretary of State Blinken are both saying that the Iranian attack is not inevitable. Visiting New Orleans, Biden was asked if he expected Iran to hold off on its retaliatory strike if a deal on ceasefire is reached. Biden replied saying, "That's my expectation." American sources say that Washington is also sending a not-so-subtle message to the Iranians of a potential U.S. or Israeli retaliation to an Iranian attack on Israel that could target Iran's nuclear program.
And joining me now is Avner Avraham, former Mossad member and CEO of Spy Legends. Thank you for joining.
Hello.
Avner, Iran vowed revenge a couple of weeks ago after Hamas top leader Ismail Haniyeh was killed in Tehran. Now, here in Israel, we've been led to believe an Iranian attack is imminent. But so far, no attack has been made. What is your assessment of this situation? Why has Iran not attacked yet? What are the different considerations?
First of all, let's start with the Israelis. We are talking about the situation. We decided to wait, and we are waiting every day. Some of the people charging the telephone and take care of water, or I don't know. For the Iranian, it's good because we are waiting and waiting and waiting, and every day we are waiting. And I believe that the Iranians don't want to attack Israel. I think that they want that the proxies will attack and we will pay the price. And I think it will be Hezbollah. We have to remember that Hezbollah, he started his attack immediately after the October 7, and he decided to stop it and wait after the first, during the first deal that we made. And I think that, first of all, his dream is that we will make a deal with Hamas, and then he will stop, and hopefully we will not continue. He will stop the fire, but Israel cannot agree that he just stop the fire and we don't do anything, because 1701 is not enough for us anymore. And also for the American is the big dream to have a peace agreement for the elections. If they can come, if the government now can come with a peace agreement, hostages coming home, it's beautiful pictures. And then the Iranians also are part of this. So maybe the American trying to tell the Israelis, look, if this is the last time, okay? It's not the last time. They always say this is the last time or opportunity, but they all say now, if you're going to make a deal, maybe we can make sure that the Iranian will not attack you, okay? But I feel that the response or the Iranian attack on April was a huge failure for Iran. Okay, they sent more than 300 missiles and others, and 99% of everything we just destroyed. Okay, they don't have the ability. So what can they do now? Send 600 missiles instead of 300?
So do you believe that Hezbollah will attack on their own instead, and Iran will sit this one out?
I think that Hezbollah will do something, but we can think about maybe something that can happen against one of the Israeli embassies in all over the world, but not in every place, because the Hezbollah in Iran will not attack in any country, in every country. They can do it. In the past, they made 2 terror attacks if you remember, in Argentina. Okay, but they have strong relations with some countries in the West, so they will not do it in the capitals of these countries. But I don't think that we are also thinking about something immediately. It should be immediately, but the Iranian playing chess. This is the whole idea. Okay, and I don't think that we need to sit and wait for the Iranian attack. If you ask me, I think that we have to attack again the Houthis, okay? Because the second attack, just without any reason, just make a second attack, and I think that they will not be part of the game.
But how do you believe Iran will be viewed internally, but also internationally, if they don't keep their promise and don't directly attack Israel?
Okay, so the Iranian can always say, we have the time, we will find the time, maybe we will find a minister, Israeli minister in Europe, and we will make a terror attack against him, okay? Maybe they will, you need to wait at least 1 year to come and say Iran didn't do anything, okay? And after a year, no one will ask the question.
So we remain on edge. Avner Avraham, thank you very much.
Thank you.
They deny the kidnapping of our children, the murder of our grandchildren, the rape of our daughters. The new Nazis we face today will stop at nothing to destroy civilization as we know it. The World Jewish Congress was created exactly for these times like this, so every Jew can fall asleep at night knowing they are safe in their own home. We are a voice for the Jewish people everywhere. We are the World Jewish Congress.
Day 313 of the war in Gaza, the IDF is advancing in Khan Yunis to enter and destroy the rocket launcher used yesterday to fire toward Tel Aviv. The army also announced the killing of some 100 terrorists in Rafah. More from ILTV's Steve Leibowitz.
The IDF has ordered more evacuations of the civilian population in the Khan Yunis area that was used yesterday by Hamas to launch 2 rockets at Tel Aviv. One of the rockets landed inside Gaza and the other landed in the sea off the Tel Aviv coast. The blast was heard in much of the city. Red alert was not sounded because the rocket did not pose a threat to the population. The IDF has assessed that Hamas still possesses the capability to launch rockets at central Israel or Jerusalem, but the terror group does not have many long-range rockets or launchers left to use. It's believed that yesterday's launch was because IDF troops were maneuvering nearby, and Hamas wanted to fire the projectiles before they fell into Israeli hands. Nearby in Rafah, the IDF announced it's eliminated some 100 terrorists in recent days and located weapons and hideout pits. In the searches, the forces located squads of armed terrorists and eliminated them with precise countermeasures. After the clashes, the forces raided the building where weapons, vests, and operational shafts were located. Turning to the Lebanese border, where the intensive cross-border attacks are continuing between Israel and Hezbollah, the IDF eliminated terrorists in the southern front. Aircraft attacked the area of Rashish in South Lebanon, killing 2 Hezbollah fighters. The IDF Mountain Brigade in the Northern Command used tank fire to attack Hezbollah terrorists who were in an observation post in the Mount Dove area. Air defense fighters were activated in the Upper Galilee and successfully intercepted unmanned aircraft that crossed from Lebanon into Israel. There were no casualties.
A harrowing video has been released showing the October 7th kidnapping of an IDF armored corps crew during the horrendous attack by Hamas terrorists. Channel 12 released the tape that shows the 4 Israeli tank crew members, including Commander Omer Neutra, a dual American-Israeli citizen from Long Island. Also in the crew are tank gunner Nimrod Cohen from Rehovot. Both remain in Hamas captivity. Tank loader Oz Daniel from Kfar Saba and tank driver Shaked Dahan from Afula are confirmed by the IDF as having been killed that day in the attack and whose bodies are still held by Hamas. The U.S. has approved a $20 billion arms deal with Israel, one of the largest military sales in recent history. The package includes 50 cutting-edge F-15IA fighter jets and an array of other advanced weaponry. The U.S. has greenlighted a monumental $20 billion arms package for Israel, emphasizing the defense partnership between the two nations. Central to this deal are 50 F-15IA fighter jets, a highly advanced variant of the F-15 Eagle, tailored especially for Israel's defense needs. These jets boast enhanced avionics, increased weapon-carrying capacity, and extended range, allowing the Israeli Air Force to maintain its technological advance in the region. Alongside the fighter jets, the deal also includes tens of thousands of rounds of tank and mortar ammunition. This arms sale comes at a critical time with ongoing tensions in the Middle East, particularly concerning Iran's nuclear ambitions and the volatile situation with Syria and Lebanon. While some of the arms, such as tank rounds, would be almost immediately available for delivery, others, such as F-15 fighter jets, are only expected to arrive starting in 2029, marking a long-term investment in Israel's military capabilities. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant hailed the approval, emphasizing that the advanced weapons will play a crucial role in securing Israel's future. He expressed his gratitude to the U.S. for its strong and consistent support, which he described as crucial for keeping Israel's military advantage, which is a key part of Israel's defense strategy. Though the U.S. has historically supported Israel and supplied it with military aid, this past year Israel has seen some pauses and delays in U.S. shipments. This latest deal reaffirms the deep ties between the two nations. And now joining me is Brigadier General Ron Shmueli, former fighter pilot commander in the Israeli Air Force. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Hi. Let's talk about this arms deal, $20 billion worth of arms. This seems like a hefty sum for Israel. But is it? Can you tell me what this entails and if it does indeed answer Israel's military needs?
Yes, it does. But first of all, it sends a message to the countries in the Middle East that the relationship between the U.S. and Israel is strong and will be strong for many years from now. So yes, we need some F-15s because we need to have a bigger Air Force. We need some ammunition. We need a lot of weapon systems that we can't produce in Israel. All of those, we get the supply from the American for the next couple of years. So it's answered our needs, and it sent a clear message in the Middle East that Israel and the US are partners.
Now, some of these weapons are only set to arrive in 2029. That's in several years from now. But Israel is engaged in war right now and has been for the last 10 months or so. So, what do you think about that?
When you're talking about a jet airplane, like I was a squadron commander and a fighter pilot, it takes time to develop. It takes time to send it to the region. So it's a continuous way of delivering weapons. So from the point of view of the war now, we have to get the big bombs. We have to get the ammunition that we need. And this is something different from the big arm deal. So the arm deal is a clear message. The daily life ammunition and support is something different from these arm deals, and it goes continuously.
Now, we know that arms deals have previously been paused or delayed by the United States in recent months. This was a source of conflict between the U.S. and Israel. Do you believe that this deal resolves these issues?
As I said, it doesn't connect directly. But I want to emphasize that the Israeli armed forces, we get those numbers from the Palestinians, about 30,000 casualties. Nobody counts that 16,000 of them are terrorists. The ratio of non-combatants that are getting hit by the Israeli armed forces is the lowest in the world. So if the Americans sometimes delay some weapons since it might harm civilians, the Israeli armed forces are the best in the world of not eating non-combatant people. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, some of those people that we call them non-combatant, they are part of the war. So Israel is very cautious. Americans have to understand that we are in a different situation, and it is not good for us, for them to delay some weapons in order to try to slow the war from a distance. So it's a small disagreement, and some of them already resolved. The press, of course, won't love to raise it once again and once again, but the connection between Israel and America are strong, and we are getting the deliveries, and we are ready for any kind of confrontation in the future, willing for peace, but have to be ready for war.
So you believe that this deal advances the ties between the United States and Israel looking forward?
Absolutely, absolutely. As I said, it sent a clear message about the long-term relationship with the Americans and the commitment of America, regardless which president, for Israeli security. So for the long distance time, it's a very important delivery and a deal. Mm-hmm. And the daily life, daily deliveries that we get now are most important for the war right now.
Ron Shmueli, thank you very much for your time.
Take care.
And now a new report shows the outstanding significance of Israel's flourishing high-tech sector. ILTV's Ariella Lachiani has more.
Hi, Sivan. Yes, so a groundbreaking report by the Israel Innovation Authority reveals the massive impact the high-tech sector has on the Israeli economy, with the report taking an in-depth look at the state revenue generated by high-tech employment, really shedding light on the crucial role this sector plays in the nation's financial health. More in the following report. Israel's high-tech sector is not just driving innovation, it's fueling the nation's economy. A new report shows that in 2020, nearly a quarter of all tax payments in Israel came from high-tech companies and their employees. By 2021, high-tech workers were responsible for a staggering 36% of all income tax payments. The report highlights that the bulk of state revenue from high-tech comes from taxing workers' wages, accounting for 85% of the sector's total tax contribution. Over 6 years, high-tech workers generated nearly 100 billion shekels in income taxes, one-third of all income tax revenue during this period. Drawbin, CEO of the Israel Innovation Authority, emphasized the strategic importance of high-tech to Israel's economy, calling it the growth engine and shock absorber during economic crises. The report also underscores the significant gap between high-tech workers and the rest of the economy, with the average monthly income tax payment of a high-tech worker being over 6 times that of other workers. As Israel faces ongoing economic challenges, the high-tech sector remains a critical pillar of state revenue, driving the need for policies that protect and nurture this vital industry. This comprehensive report serves as a crucial reminder of the high-tech sector's pivotal role in Israel's economic stability, especially in uncertain times. The government's continued focus on this center is not just about innovation, it's about securing the nation's financial future.
The Israel Antiquities Authority just made an incredible discovery in Jerusalem. A 2,000-year-old drainage channel dating back to the Second Temple period is currently being excavated and studied, giving us all a glimpse into our rich history. ILTV's Devo Klein has more.
Together with the City of David and the Israel Antiquities Authority, a 2,000-year-old drainage system dating back to the Second Temple period has been uncovered. The drainage channel was used as the main draining system in Old Jerusalem, allowing excavators from the IAA to uncover great stories from the past. Located 13 meters underground, this drainage channel reveals evidence dating back to the period leading to the destruction of the Second Temple. Excavators were able to determine the state of famine in Jerusalem by examining layers of fluvial deposits and small seeds left on ceramic dishes' remains. Archaeologist Dr. Ayala Zilberstein explains how the layers of fluvial waste, which have accumulated on the channel walls over time, help excavators identify different periods of Old Jerusalem. One example can be seen in the top and final layer, indicating to excavators exactly when the Second Temple was destroyed and the city was abandoned. The discovered tunnel serves as a time machine, giving excavators, and now the public, a glimpse into Jerusalem's rich history.
And finally, special for our viewers, take a moment to fill out our quick survey and let us know what you think about our program. Your feedback helps us bring you more of what you love. Just scan the QR code and share your thoughts. We can't wait to hear from you. Let's take a look at the weather forecast. Partly cloudy skies are expected tonight around the country, with temperatures reaching lows of 23 degrees Celsius or 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Then tomorrow we're back to sunny skies and humid weather, as temperatures should climb and rise to 34 degrees Celsius or 94 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a wrap for today's news. For the latest updates from Israel on all your devices, be sure to follow our ILTV channels, subscribe to our newsletter, and explore our website, ILTV.tv. Stay informed with the latest news straight from the heart of Israel. I'm Sivan Raviv. Be well, be safe, and thank you so much for watching.
In a world where truth matters, stay informed with ILTV News, your source for accurate, timely, and insightful coverage from Israel. Join our community of global supporters who believe in the power of truth and the importance of Israel's story. At ILTV, we bring you the news that shapes our nation and connects us all. If you believe in Israel, if you believe in truth, this is your call to action. Become a part of the ILTV news community today. Visit ILTV.tv and subscribe now. Your support means more than ever.